So I'm going to be doing this all-20 video a little bit differently than my other all-20 videos. As always, if you would like to skip to the very final attempt, there will be a timestamp up on the screen right now. If instead you'd like to stick around and watch me talk about how an oversized walking and talking mouse shedded several years off of my lifespan, then you're welcome to stay and watch the rest of this video. But with all that out of the way, let's just jump right into this absolute effing hellhole. So real quickly, I'd like to clear a couple of things up. The longest I have ever spent on any form of challenge like this was in the Joy of Creation story mode, survival mode, which took me just over 10 hours to complete, which doesn't really count because the winning attempt was like an hour on its own. And the highest amount of time I've ever spent on actual all-20 was in a Golden Pass Chapter 2, which was just over 6 hours to complete. This one took over 15 hours to complete. Now, that might not sound like that much, but 15 hours of just the same effing thing over and over and over and over again was enough to drive any effing one insane, including me. Yeah, this was really effing hard. So the fun begins when I load up Oblitus Casa, filled with confidence and hope that this all-20 is not only going to be fun, but we're just going to smash it out of the park immediately, no trouble at all, and it's just going to be awesome, amazing, awesome, perfect. And I click on the custom night button to see a funny little thing about completing an all-20, is that you actually have to unlock it, believe it or not, and I didn't. In order to start the all-20, I had to unlock 5 more characters before I could do it, and I only had 1. So little idiot me thought that, hey, maybe if I just do all the characters that I have currently, it'll unlock the rest of them. It didn't. But this is a perfect opportunity to talk about the first unique custom night character, that being Cabin Face, aka the worst effing thing created since canned bread. This guy is an absolute nightmare. He attacks you in the attic like Pete and Inkblot Face, except he likes to chuck his goddamn eyeball at light speed, and in order to get rid of him, you have to click on it. Seems simple enough, but for some effing reason, getting a grip on this eyeball was the hardest effing thing in the literal universe. I don't know why, I don't know if it's me, I don't know if the hitbox on this thing is funky, but I just could not effing grab this thing to save my goddamn life, both in-game and in real life. So this guy was going to be an absolute nightmare for the rest of my existence. Of course, after attempting this role, I did eventually succeed in beating this little challenge here, but of course it didn't do anything. Saw this funny little challenge button at the top of the effing screen, which you all probably saw immediately, and I'm just, for some reason, didn't see it up until now, when I see 4 little challenges that I have to complete to unlock the characters. And I'm not going to talk too much about these challenges because they're not the main focus of this video, but I can't sum them all up in one sentence. The first one depicts you just having a staring contest with Jeff the Killer. The next one consists of you getting slaughtered by the most dapper horror character in existence. The third challenge depicts the absolute horror of trying to quickly erase that stupid drawing you wrote in your notebook as the teacher slowly walks over to grade your notes. And the final one, and I don't even really know what the hell to say about this one, I mean, just look at it. It's a flippin' black screen 99.9% of the time, except for you're literally getting murdered by Eyeless Jack. By completing these 4 challenges, you unlock 4 new characters, those characters being Photo Negative Mickey, Celester, Oswald, and Mick, all of which have different mechanics, and let's talk about them right now. Photo Negative Mickey acts just how we did in the first Treasure Island. He'll appear in your office, and in order to get rid of him, you have to turn off one of your cameras. Celester will appear in your office, and you are not supposed to look at him for extended periods of time. If I'm being perfectly honest, I'm not actually entirely sure what this guy does, because it doesn't seem like he kills you no matter how long you actually look at him. But what I believe he does is that the longer you look at him, he actually boosts the speed of the other characters, because it seems that the more I look at this guy, the other characters just seem to get a massive increase in their speed. I'm not entirely sure about this, but it's kind of what it seemed like he does. Oswald does the exact same thing as Photo Negative Mickey, where he will appear in your office, and you have to turn off a camera to get rid of him. Although he does attack a lot slower and kills you a lot slower than Photo Negative Mickey does, so keep that in mind. Mick will enter your office, and in order to get rid of him, you have to blink, which you just do by pressing shift on the keyboard. Whenever he enters your office, he also makes a very loud and distinct noise, that being this. This makes it really easy to tell whenever he's attacking you, and you'll be hearing it several times throughout the night. Also, by completing these challenges and unlocking these characters, we unlock some custom night challenges. And one of those challenges, of course, is the Nightmare Challenge, which is the 6 original characters on 20. And I suspected that I needed to complete this challenge in order to unlock the final character that I needed to unlock true Nightmare mode. So of course that's what I did. I beat Nightmare mode on my literal very first attempt, which was awesome and filled me with so much confidence to take on true Nightmare mode. But before we do that, we gotta talk about the final character that we just unlocked, that being the Corruptus. The Corruptus will appear on your cameras, and if you look at him, he will advance. And if you look at him too many times, he will eventually jump scare you. But in all honesty, I literally never died to this guy, even once in all of my attempts, and I didn't even actually know he could kill you until I tested it out for this video, so he's basically non-existent in this run. Now that we had unlocked all the characters and we had unlocked True Nightmare mode, it was finally time to actually start the challenge, and since we beat regular Nightmare mode on our very first attempt, I was just filled with confidence. And I was just like, we're gonna smash this out of the park. We're effing gamers. Let's do this. First try, baby. Let's freaking go. I think it goes without saying that I didn't do too well. One of the main problems I was experiencing is that I would go up to the attic to deal with one of the guys up there, and then while I was up there, I would get attacked by either Inkblot Face, Photo Negative Mickey, or Oswald, or really anybody, and I wouldn't have enough time to get out of the attic and deal with them before they killed me. And I think this was the main reason for my death, for that the entirety of this challenge, was just going up to the attic and then getting attacked and not having enough time to deal with them before they killed me. I would also like to take this time to talk about another mechanic called post-mortem. Post-mortem happens whenever you die from any character, and it offers us a sort of chance to get yourself back into the game and pick up where you left off. Whenever you go to post-mortem, your main goal is to find 3 Mickey heads all over the cameras, and if you find all 3, you will get sent back into your attempt and pick up right where you left off, and if you die, then you die, and then you're sent back to the menu screen. Now, the mechanics of post-mortem aren't really ever fully explained in the actual game. They just kind of leave them up to interpretation, but this is what I picked up from my 15 hours of doing this run. You are given, of course, your camera, you're getting a flashlight, you are getting a voodoo doll called your best friend. This voodoo doll can help you fend off both Mickey and Oswald, which they will attack, and you can see them with your lights. However, using this voodoo doll also has a cost. How I believe postmortem works is that whenever postmortem starts, you are given you're given a timer of like a minute to a minute and a half, something like that. And every single time that you use the voodoo doll, you get subtracted like 5 or 10 seconds off your timer. And if you run out of time, then you die. And that's sort of why if you spam the voodoo doll, then you die pretty much immediately. I don't know if that's how it works. This is sort of what I picked up on from trying it for so long. And there are also a couple of other characters in there. There is Minnie, who will appear on one of the cameras, and if you look at her for too long, she will pull down your camera, and if you don't pull your camera back up in time, she will kill you. And it's also Goofy, who appears at your doors. He's got to flash him with your flashlight, and if you let him get through, he will disable your voodoo doll for I don't know how long. I don't think I ever lived long enough to find out. And then there's also Donald Duck. This guy is a nightmare because what he does is that he sort of like disguises himself as one of the heads, and you can sort of see like this weird symbol, or like his kind of head hovering next to the head. And if you click on one of the heads that he is sort of possessing, then he will pull down your camera and he will like stay there, kind of like Phantom Puppet in FNAF 3, and you won't be able to do anything other than listen to him scream in your goddamn ear hole. It took me actually a very, very long time to figure out why this guy attacked you, because it's not very easy to see the difference between a normal head and a cursed head. But yeah, and it's also very, very annoying because this night is pretty much entirely down to RNG. There have been a multitude of times, it's too many to count, where I'm scrolling through all the cameras as fast as I can, and I just don't find any heads whatsoever. There's just nothing, and I run out of time before I can find all 3 heads. And I guess that is kind of fair, because if it was the minigame was super duper easy and you had the ability to bring yourself back to life, like every single attempt, that could be a little bit strong. However, bringing yourself back to life via postmortem also comes with a cost. While you do come in at the exact same time that you died at, all the animatronics are much, much faster. By much faster, I mean like 50% faster. At least that's what it feels like. Because these guys get absolutely demon mode whenever you come out of post-mortem. I usually could not last more than a minute after post-mortem, if that, because you just can't control the guys when they're this fast. Like, it's just not possible. Like, you just lose control. I'm not even entirely sure if it's possible to keep track of them for like more than a minute and a half in post-mortem, because it's just too much going on. I'm sure it's possible, but I'm not good enough to do it. But that's pretty much post-mortem explained to the best of my ability. It's a mechanic that will come into play later, wink wink, and yeah, it can be both. It can be a double-edged sword. It can either just waste your time after you die. A lot of the time, if I die like before like 4:30 a.m., I usually just kill myself immediately post-mortem, because I'm just not gonna be able to last long enough to complete the night, even if I do actually get out of post-mortem. But yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know about post-mortem. Now, it's a little bit hard to talk about this night when it comes to strategy, because my strategy is pretty much just memorization. What I mean by that is I pretty much have the entire, not the entire night, but like most of the night sort of memorized of what to do and when to do it. And that's kind of the only real way that you can beat this night. I think that's one of the main reasons that it took me so long to beat. There isn't really any room for improvisation in this night. You pretty much have to just already be knowing what to do and do it. You pretty much have to just memorize when every single character attacks, when they attack, what to do when they attack, how they synchronize with other characters when they attack. You have to just memorize that throughout the entire night. And if you mess up even once, and I mean in the slightest little bit possible, you will die. And that's sort of the main reasons that I'm not too fond of this night, is because there's not a whole lot of like split decision making or improvisation or anything like that. You pretty much have to just already know what to do and when to do it. And if you mess it up in the slightest way possible, or if you get like bad RNG and a character doesn't attack when they're supposed to attack, then you die and there's pretty much nothing that you can do about it. And that's the main reason this night took so long, was just because RNG is a huge part in this night. And you pretty much just have to know what to do and when to do it. And memorizing all the things you have to do is actually a lot harder than it sounds, because this night seems so simple on the surface. Yet when you put it down to it, the way the characters interact with each other is so specific that the actions that you do have to be just as specific. And looking at this night on the surface, it seems really easy. All the characters' mechanics are relatively simple. One of the characters in this game, you literally just press one button on the keyboard to deal with them, yet this character is one of the biggest problems in this night. It's honestly kind of crazy how simple the characters are on the surface, yet when they correspond with each other, it makes for this crazy, incredibly specific situation, and the way you deal with it has to be just as specific, and that's kind of what I don't like about this night. There's not a whole lot of room for anything. You pretty much have to do, you have to treat every single situation that you get into in an incredibly specific way in order to survive. And it's really effing annoying. It doesn't sound that hard on the surface, but if you were to actually try this night yourself, you would kind of understand what I mean. The situations that you get into, you either deal with them in the super duper specific way you have to deal with them, or you die, and there is nothing that you can do about it. And sometimes that super specific situation is different. Like sometimes at 1 a.m. I'll be attacked by Oswald really early before I even get attacked by the guy in the attic. And sometimes he'll just wait until like 3 a.m. to attack me or something like that. Like it's different, yet the same. And sometimes like it doesn't matter how much preparation you have for a certain part of the night. If the game just decides, hey, you're gonna die, you're gonna die. And it's really hard to deal with. But I don't really know how to take this point onwards, because there really isn't that much more to talk about when it comes to my strategy in this night, without getting incredibly specific and potentially making this video way longer than it has to be on a topic that you guys probably don't even really care about. So I don't really know where to go from here, other than to just talk about a few little tricks that work throughout the night. Because there are some things that I do throughout the entire night that sort of help, and that's sort of a strategy, I guess you can call it. One strategy that I have is to make Donald Duck appear on cameras that are better for me. For those of you who don't know, Donald Duck will appear on a camera, and if you stare at him for too long, he will make an audio distraction. Like in your office, you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to pull up cameras, and he will also disable the camera that you looked at him on for a certain period of time, and you can't use the music or anything on that camera. And this can be really, really annoying because sometimes you need to be on a certain camera to deal with to play the music for Willy and Dippy. You need to flash mini, anything like that. And the way that he actually appears on your camera is that it's not just entirely random. He appears on cameras as you switch to them, and he appears typically on every single other camera that you switch to. So every single second camera that you switch to, he normally appears on. At least that's what it seems like. So if you seem to be flipping to seemingly random cameras at random points, that's to get Donald Duck to appear on a camera that I don't that is better for me. And there are some times where I mess this up, and that's usually when I die, is when I get Donald Duck to appear on a camera that is really, really important, and that I can't do what I know what I need to do, and then I usually die because of that. Just another thing with this night is that you cannot make any mistakes on this night. If you as so much breathe in at the wrong point on this night, you will die within a heartbeat. That's another thing that makes this night so difficult, is that there's so little room for error on this night, and everything you have to do has to be so specific that it's really, really easy to make those errors. So it's just it combines into this really, really rough night of incredible, and I mean incredible focus, and that's what you'll see that in the final attempt. And there's another thing I want to talk about is Minnie. Minnie is a very, very unique character in this game because she starts on the middle camera, and whenever you flash her, she moves away, and then you flash her again, she moves away again. However, Minnie is a problem, and a really, really big one, because if you let Minnie move even a singular camera, even if she's on the other side of the map, if you let her move one singular camera, it can mean your demise. And what I mean by that is, when Minnie moves, you have to flash her back to the previous camera that she was on, right? But you usually can't flash her again before she moves, because your flasher doesn't come back in time. Meaning that every single camera that she moves normally, it's almost impossible to get her back again. Meaning that if she moves at all during the night, it's pretty much permanent damage. You can't get her back at all. Meaning that she can only move a possibility of like maybe 4 times throughout the entire night before you die. And this gets even harder to keep track of in post-mortem, because in post-mortem, you go up to the attic one time to deal with a character up there, and Minnie moves like 3 effing cameras down. It is ridiculous. Which is one of the reasons that I don't like to do post-mortem unless I'm really close to the end of the night, because it's just way too effing hard to keep track of things. But Minnie is usually a priority over most other characters, because if she moves at all, it can lead to permanent damage pretty much throughout the entire night, and there's almost nothing that you can do about it. So I will usually prioritize Minnie over Willy and Dippy, even going into the attic sometimes, just because it's really effing important, because you cannot let Minnie move at all until like maybe 4:30 a.m. Because if she moves before that, then it's just really, really bad, and she's usually gonna get you before the night ends. So keeping track of Minnie and keeping her in that top camera is incredibly important to your survival. Now the rest of the strategy is pretty much just to know what to do and when to do it. Like, I could write like an entire Excel spreadsheet about every single like hour in this night, hour increment, every single like 30-minute increment, and what to do during those increments. Like, it's an entire memorization game, and if I were to explain everything that was going on, what to do, when to do it, this video could be 3 hours long, pretty much. So I'm not going to really talk about that too much, unless you guys want me to. Maybe make another video about it. But it's really just doing very specific things at very specific points in time during the night, and that's pretty much the entire strategy. And it's kind of, it's once again, this night is so expertly crafted where it's so simple and there's not that much to talk about, yet it's so hard to complete. And it took me so effing long. This night is like, I called this night my kryptonite because I didn't know why it was so hard for me. Like towards like the first couple hours of this, I was getting nowhere. I barely was able to make it past 1 a.m. During that first couple hours of attempts, and I just didn't know why. Cause like the mechanics are so simple, yet I just can't wrap my head around them. It's because it's not the individual character mechanics they need to be worried about. It's how the characters interact with each other. It creates this. It basically just creates a whole new character, pretty much, that you need to deal with. Like you shouldn't think of the characters in this game as individual characters. You should think of them as combined, because that's how you have to deal with them. You have to deal with them all at once usually, and you have to know precisely how to deal with them in order to survive the attacks. Which is one of the reasons that I both love and hate this night, is how the characters interact with each other. Yet I hate how you can only survive in certain situations by doing very, very specific things. And if those specific things don't line up properly, then you're just dead, and there's literally zero you can do about it. But in all honesty, that's kind of all there is to talk about with this night. I can't really think about anything else to talk about than making this video a headache to listen to. It probably already is a headache to listen to, so I think at this point I'm just gonna skip to the final attempt, because there isn't really a whole lot more to talk about when it comes to my strategy without getting really, really specific, and that's probably not why you guys came here. So I think at this point I'm just gonna show you the final attempt, the culmination of over 15 hours of work, and also several more hours editing this video. Right here. Here it is. The final attempt. Yeah, I think he went. I heard him. I heard him. I heard DM. Oh, Erg. Just gotta go. F you. Slester the molester. Mushroom, mushroom. Please switch effing cameras, me. I am actual hot garbage. Just literally everything involving life. I'm gonna effing die. Yep. Hey, yep, dude. Like hell. You know damn well. Oh, gonna wait for Mickey. Waiting. I will effing wait for the schmuck. Well, that's inconvenient. Unconvenient has invented a new word. It's not very helpful. Someone said it's bad, even. There we go. Oh my effing god, if I die right now. Taking a big risk. No! I didn't freaking... For some reason, I didn't effing hear it. I thought it was Pete for some reason. I didn't, like, hear the flippin' noise. My brain, like, just stopped working there for a second. Please, click. Okay. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, I'm so dead. I'm just unbelievably dead. It's not even effing funny how dead I am. I will effing wait for him. I'm dead. Oh my god. Oh my effing god. Oh my effing god. Dude, I'm gonna flippin' have a heart. Dude. Dude, no. No. This...
You know, Jake, I really have my doubts about you. I mean, after everything that happened, after what they did, and then they send you here, who wouldn't? But you impressed me. You really did. I was angry at first. Angry about being lied to, about them putting me into that situation. I mean, it got me killed. Can you really blame me? And realizing that this had been happening over and over on a scope greater than anyone can ever comprehend. And I'm always the one who gets the worst of it. It was hard to let go. But I realized it eventually, that this was never going to end until the end.
Oh my god.
By the time I let go of everything and left that costume behind, I thought it was too late. You were gone, trapped in limbo. I started rebuilding myself slowly. I used whatever I could get my hands on. I knew it was a long shot, but if I had even the slightest chance of finally bringing her down, I had to take it. And then you showed up again. I knew this was what I had been waiting for, a second chance. I started leaving notes for you. I'd been observing those things for a while. I knew how to trick them, how to outsmart them. I knew she was getting desperate to get rid of you. I mean, this was probably the furthest you'd ever gotten. That's what I was getting nervous about. You really made her angry. But then, you did it. You did the impossible. You killed her. You know, it's funny, kinda. This all started because they needed another intern to come looking for me. All that time and all the times you were looking for me, I guess it's fitting I got to help you finish things. To repay you for that in the end. The nightmare's over for the most part anyway. I can't thank you enough, Jake. Truly. You might not even understand what you've accomplished ever. But just know, no matter what, that she won't haunt you or this island anymore. Years and years of things most can't even fathom. Monsters, haunted costumes, nightmarish cartoons, all those things. Finally over. Just like that. I think this is it, Jake. This is where you and Treasure Island finally part ways. This may seem weird, but I'm going to miss you. I really am. Goodbye. And thank you.
Oh my god. Dude. Dude. My effing hands are shaking. Dude. Dude. Oh my effing god, dude. I'm flipping. Dude, my effing hands, dude. Fuck, I effing Parkinson's or something. Oh my god. Oh my effing god. It's over. It's over. It's effing over. Oh my. Dude. Dude. I can't effing think right now. I'm. Ah. It's over. It's finally over. Oh my effing god. I never have to effing touch this game again. Nothing against the developers of this game or the game, whatever, but I have never been happier to see those goddamn words in my life. Oh my effing god. I'm going to effing pass out. Oh my god. I don't even know how many hours that took. It was like nearly 20, I think. Oh my effing god. I don't even know what to say. That effing cutscene revealed a lot about the story, and I know it did. It said how that guy, I think it was one of the guys that went missing on the island, they didn't know where he went. And he was trying to take down Mother. He was the one leaving us the notes to tell us how to defend ourselves. And then we came here and we killed Mother. Oh my god. I can't effing breathe, dude. I'm effing out of it. Oh my effing god. Dude, I can't, I can't speak, dude. I'm out of it. I'm actually out of it. God. That was so down to the wire, man. That was the thing. I think that was the longest I've ever lasted in postmortem. I don't think I've ever effing lasted that long in postmortem. That was like an hour and a half in postmortem, which is like really effing good. At least for me. Oh my god, dude. I'm actually like flipping full on shaking. Jesus. It's over. It's finally effing over. I can do something else. I don't have to do this anymore. Oh my effing god. I don't have to effing do this anymore, dude. Oh my god. You might get something if you complete every single challenge, but I'm never effing touching this game again if my goddamn life depends on it. Oh my effing god. If you took a shot every single time I said, oh my effing god, during that reaction, I'm pretty sure that you would be dead. But that is it. That is Oblitus Casa, all 20 complete. This is my first time ever making a video like this. This format is completely new to me, and hence why it seemed probably a little sloppy at times, and just a little bit rough around the edges. But I'm so happy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because this video took a very, very long time to make. I know I said I wouldn't do this again, go 3 weeks at a goddamn video, but like, yeah, hopefully you understand. But yeah, if you guys would like to see this sort of template used more often for all 20 videos, or just videos in general, let me know, because this is actually pretty fun to make, pretty fun to edit. To record it was painful, but to edit it was actually pretty fun. I didn't have like a script or anything for this video, hence why it kind of, a lot of the parts where I'm talking over, including right now, it kind of just seems slapped together. That's because it is. I don't have like a script. I'm sort of just talking off of my mind, which is why I kind of ramble on sometimes. But yeah, that is Oblitus Casa all 20. But I don't have anything else to say. And why should I be doing the outro when panicked, relieved, and stressed out me does it so much better? I gotta stop before I have to pass out. It's finally over. I don't have to do this anymore. I'm effing lightheaded, and my effing like vision is blurry. Oh my god. Dude. I don't even know anymore. I'm stopping. I guess I will catch you guys in the next one. Oh my god.